Hey guys, welcome back to another solo RPG workshop video. This time, I have got a new camera jib for my table here, so we're back to my tabletop views. It's been a while. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys my latest version of the HAVOC system, which has been uh, shelved for just a little bit, not too long. I've considered it complete for some time now, but I did make some modifications and some withdrawals from the prior. And to show you guys, I'm actually going to make a couple of characters. And these two characters will be from my Exeter campaign. So first, to make a character, we simply have to choose a name. And we know for a fact that one of my character names is Mars, who is essentially a ranger. And we'll start him out at level 1 for now. You choose a name, basic concept details. So basically race, he is a elf. He's a male. Age, we'll say maybe 68. Young elf. Goal, well, I didn't really flesh out these characters enough in our little AI campaign, so stuff like this I will get back to in a later video. But for now, we just have the very basic three details. Now, you have 10 points to allocate, max 5 per skill. So we know he is a ranger type of character. So we'll have to give some points into agility. Now these are cores. You have hardy, agility, valor, optics, and craft. As they say, hardy is for constitution, fortitude, and stamina. Agility is dexterity, speed, and evasion. Valor is charisma, leadership, and confidence. Optics is wisdom, awareness, insight. Craft is intelligence, logic, and knowledge. So for our friend Mars here, he will most likely have a slightly higher agility and craft or awareness, or I'm sorry, optics or craft. So let's see, 10 points. So we can do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or we can do 3 into agility, and then let's do 3 into optics or craft. Wisdom, awareness, insight, intelligence, logic. Let's do optics plus 3. That's 6. Then we have 2 for craft. So not a lot of wiggle room, but that's 8 so far. So that means plus 1 for hardy and then plus 1 for valor. So 3, 6, 8, 10. And that's it for the cores. A perk is basically a core that lets you re-roll failed rolls, but you are bound to the second result. So I think for our friend Mars here, think of it as a proficiency. We'll let him, of course, the agility will be his perk, and perk cannot be changed or moved, and you can't get more than one, at least for now in this version. Hit points, your hit potential is the amount of hits you can take. So you roll 3d6, selecting the highest 1d roll, plus your hardy roll. So this has to be worth the roll out of the 3d6. So I'll slide my character sheet over here just so you guys can see it. And then I'll get my tray. So you choose the highest of the three, which looks like it's going to be 4 plus hardy, that's 5. So 5 HP, which is decent for this game's standards. Defense is based on the protective armor you wear. You can have up to 10 items based on these line here. This is your inventory. And based on the world setting, you start with a melee weapon, light armor, rations, and a light source. Then you roll 3d6 for your money. So let's give this character Mars a few items in favor of the ranger type of character. So we'll give him a longbow, which I will say will do 1d6 damage. And then he has light armor, which will give him a +1 in armor and defense. And then we also want to give him 3 days rations, I'll say. It says light rations, or actually just says rations. So let's update that to 3x. I will also include 1d6 weapon or 1d4 a melee weapon as a beginner weapon. So 1d4 melee weapon. Light armor is going to be +1. There we go. And a light source. So 3x rations. And then a light source, this being modern or not modern, but typical fantasy, high fantasy. We obviously will give him a torch. So there's obviously some items from my current campaign I may put in here if I do end up moving on with my own game rules. But last but not least is the, once again, 3d6 for your currency. So you basically add these together. That's going to be 7, 9. So he has 9 gold pieces, or $9, however you want to look at it. And that's it. That's how you make a character. It's super quick, easy, and simple. His defense is 1. Now let's do Brock, who is a brute or a barbarian kind of character. He's the big guy, so Brock will have level 1 as we did for Mars. For his 10 points to allocate for the cores, obviously he'll have uh, Hardy being the favor with the perk, and then his second fairly is optional. So I'd say we can do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can do 2. I'm just trying to figure out what would be the second best core. I'm thinking perhaps Valor because of confidence. So we'll do +2. That's 5. So we have 6, 7, 8. Or we can do 2 here for agility. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can do 2 or 1 for these other ones. Or we can put an extra one in Valor in Hardy. So let's do 4 in Hardy because he is a barbarian. So we'll do 4, 6, 8, and then obviously I think this is a D20 game, so these are all essentially boosters at a threshold difficulty. So that's our character. That's the cores. Then we already chose a perk. Now we do HP. So like I said before, you choose 3d6, you roll. Look at that. We have 6. Those are pretty good numbers, actually. It's a 6 plus 4. He has a very good, impressive 10 HP using the Hardy core. So now, hits. Like it says, it's just tally the section, the track hits taken, defense once we have armor assigned. So with this guy, at least based on our episodes, he's wielded a great axe, which is standard 1d6, but not an entry level weapon. Then we will probably give him medium armor, +2, maybe a helmet, which would give him a +1. So that puts him at 3. And then the money situation for him, that's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 gold pieces, $9. And then we got to give him 3x rations along with torch. Okay, so his race, he is a dwarf. Let's go back to the top. I skipped over it. He's a dwarf, male. Let's say he's 50 exactly, and the rest is obviously during the show. And those are our two characters here, Mars and Brock. Now, again, I've compacted a lot of the descriptions for the sections. It's always ever changing, so please take note, this is not my final, it will never be my final version. But basically, HAVOC still remains the same if you see my last video about my game, though it has, again, compacted, compressed. Take risky actions, yell HAVOC, discuss your goal with the guide, who is essentially the game master, roll a d20 plus the relevant core against the guide's difficulty. If your roll matches or exceeds the threshold, you succeed. Roll a d20 is always perfect. A roll of 1 is a fumble. So there are the suggested difficulties. Combat is turn-based, quick. Players typically go first, unless I'm ambushed. The guide handles the threats. All attacks hit. So this has been different. This is the different part. This is something I decided lately on compared to hit or miss. All attacks hit. Defense negates incoming hits. That's, again, defense. If the enemy has a d6, rolls it, and does 4 damage, Brockhair will only take 1 hit. So even though you never miss or never will always take damage, your defense may help you out. You roll your weapon die to deal hits. Threats have HP and defense. Use HAVOC for special actions like evade, run away, use item, etc. If approved by the guide. Magic, if any, because this is a universal game. I forgot to mention that. HAVOC has been kind of turning into a universal engine. Consists of players controlling the characters and the guide as the world builder. If the world setting has magic, the guide may have you roll HAVOC with craft against a difficulty. Healing, short rest reduces 1d4 hits. A long rest reduces all hits. Some specialized items may reduce various variable amounts. Magic may be appropriate or may be applicable too. Death Incarnate's about the same, but the method is different on how to reach death. When your hits match your HP, you're unconscious. If exceeds your HP, you face Death Incarnate in the Deathly Realm, which is a nod to my original title, The Deathly Chronicles. Your fate depends on your performance. If granted a second chance, your reawake can rejoin reality with 1d4. If not, you're done. Achievement is advancement, I should say, is based on a milestone system. Typically occurs after a monumental task is achieved. When you advance, you level up and gain the following: plus 1d6 hardy, plus 1d6 to your HP, plus hardy, which I've been debating on doing so. I think I'll keep that for now. Plus 1 to any core, and that's pretty much it. There is no other statistics in this game. Like I said, defense is always based on what you wear. Now, um, because it's such a simple sheet, and I got rid of the focus, which arguably was um, a unique mechanic, it was getting a little bothersome in my test plays off camera, so I completely stripped it away. It's now simply just down to literally these six or so things here. HP is your traditional health, but it's a cap. It is how many hits you can take. So I have this large box here to track tallies of how much damage. That's why that way you don't have to constantly erase and update your current HP every time you take a hit. You just tally it up, and obviously if you heal, you erase the tallies that you recovered from. So that's my game. It's very, very simple. It could literally fit in one page, but this is an HTML document with the big logo there. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to use the system moving forward for Exeter, moving away from D&D. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.